goodness. All that was time enough to run to the hardware store. It's funny that as you're moving along, after you record something, you start thinking of all these things you would have liked to have said. Excuse me, and brought up. So, already been to the hardware store. Here it is. Here is the plug. And I put lines across it because it was nigh on to impossible to see the grain. You have to really get up close to it. I have a magnifying glass out here. So I looked at it. It was coated with Titebond Premium. Okay, because this is under no constant weight stress. So I can use Titebond there and drill in, to drill a pilot hole here, and that's going to work great. One thing that I'm always suspect of are plugs. This is a plug. This is a fill piece. Now, it's beautifully done. There's no question about it. And even though it's beautifully done, I question the airtightness of it. So when I remove this, I'm going to sand, or perhaps even put on the table saw, and remove like a 32nd of an inch across this surface. And then I'm going to come back using hot hide glue and motor cloth. And I'm going to glue a piece across the top of here. And that is going to absolutely ensure me that I'm not going to have any leakage if these boards shrink, expand, crack, whatever. I'm going to have the best integrity in there that I could possibly ask for. So that's a great way of ensuring that it's going to remain stable. You may have noticed I'm out of my regular industrial super glue. This is Loctite. But what I do with these super glues is I will take it. Let me make sure some of it's going to come out. Yep. I will take it and I will put it into a screw hole. I'll put it into a screw hole. That one filled up good. Put it into a screw hole. And what is that is going to do is that is going to wick into, that wood, remember, is like nothing but bundles of straws lengthwise. So it's going to suck up that super glue. It's going to do a great thing for me. It's going to make these threads that have been forced upon this wood from the screws, it's going to make them very hardened. And when I go to replace the screws into this, they are really going to bite into that. The threads will be hardened, the wood will be hardened, and boy, will it hold because of that super glue. I'll do the same thing here. I will actually put the screw in first, pull it back out, then I will let the glue soak into it, and it will be great. Now, in case you're wondering, get yourself one of these. Put out by what? Stanley? It's Fat Max. It's a flush cut saw. And this flush cut saw will allow me label up, okay? The label up. You can put it there, put your finger on top of it, and you can saw a perfectly flush cut. Now, I'm not going to do it all the way because this glue is still a little gummy, but it will give me a beautiful, the kerf is very thin, and it will hardly need any sanding. But remember, I'm going to take some of this off, just a little skim from it. This is the piece of marble back here that I use to flatten a lot of things on. Let me show you one other item that I think it's growing with me more and more and more and more. I saw this really on Amazon. Mayhew. Now, this has done wonders for my pipe organ restoration, because I work on the theater organs also. And what this is this huge assortment and a handle. Now this handle will take these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 right off the bat. They can screw right into this handle. And the beautiful thing is they eject the punchings right into a chamber, which empties right on out. So clogging is a thing that I don't even worry about. Then it has this interesting piece. And this piece screws onto the handle also. Now look at this. It's got all these concentric circles on it. And I can use anything from, say, a 5/8, which will plug right onto the end. There are indentations. It goes on, and you give it a little twist, and it's on there. And the same thing, it's going to do its best to move out punchings if it can, up to the size of this. And you can also put onto it 1 7/8, which goes onto the largest fitting. Put it on, align it, and twist. And you'll get wonderful, wonderful circular cut. But the great feature is about this, and its usage is not only in organs, but also in player pianos. Let's say I wanted, I'm gonna put, this is the 1/8 of an inch. I'm gonna screw that into place. And if I wanted to make like a washer of some sorts, let's take the 7/8 of an inch. I'm sorry, don't go out of frame. 7/8 of an inch. It goes onto its collar. Twist and look. You can now punch a washer with the center hole perfectly centered. And man, oh man, is that convenient. Because trying to do them by hand, I would always get like maybe a 15% waste, 10 to 15%. So this is a great kit put out by Mayhew Pro. You can get it on Amazon. Now, I love it. I like it. I like it. Mayhew loves it because the price is pretty much up there. A couple of $100, $250, $260, something like that. But it is so convenient to be able to make so many different washers, or just regular punchings, you know, like just a flat punching. So it's great. Putting holes into gaskets, you have 1/8, 3/16, 1/4, 5/16, and 3/8 to be able to punch out, you know, screw holes and larger screw holes. So anyway, Mayhew Pro. And they, like I said, they like it. They love it. I like it. So there's my little tips for right now. Yes, I'll go ahead and do it. Put this here, move it across, little motions. Look at that. Look at there. Look at that. Mwah! Isn't that nice? And it is now plugged and practically ready for usage, although I'd let it dry for longer. So I don't know if I'm going to finish this, refinish it. I don't know. If I'm not, I'll go ahead and put the gasket on. And of course, I'll have the opportunity to punch holes, which I can use with the Mayhew set. So, boom. And then I will flatten this on a piece of sandpaper that I put down on there, and just back and forth. and it will take down these high spots to go to the low point. So then I will sand this ever so carefully so that when I put the leather gasket on, this is as tight and airtight attachment that I can possibly come up with. So keep going, folks. Don't get stymied by it. For every way into it, if there's a mistake, you have a way to get out of it. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Please let me know. Leave a comment. Tell me if there's something you'd like for me to talk about. I am going to talk about glues. I am going to mix up some new hot glue because I'm down to like 1/4 of an inch from the bottom of the present mix. And it's about a week and a half old, so I need to make new ones. So we can talk about the difference between hot hide, epoxy, the yellow glue, the white glues, the Eileen tacky glues, the plastic glues. I mean, we can talk about all that, or I can. But go ahead and leave a comment if you'd like. Thanks.